Hey guys, today I want to talk about Microsoft. I will go through each segment of their revenue and talk about why I think it will or won't grow, and I will look at some of the future things they'll probably be doing. So right now Microsoft is my biggest holding with $1,835. It's of course it's not that much money actually because I'm a student. I just work part time. I don't have that much money, but like 40% of my money is in Microsoft, so that's a lot. So the office part is basically divided between commercial and consumer. The consumer revenue increased 7%, but 14% in constant currency, which basically means the depreciation of a currency is negatively impacting their revenue growth, but it still shows that because it grows in constant currency, it basically means more people in different countries are using it. The Office 365 commercial revenue growth was 11% specifically, and the Office consumer products and cloud services revenue decreased 2%, which seems like a bad thing because decreasing is bad. But in constant currency, it's actually up 3%. So it's once again not because less people are using it, it's because people in countries with depreciating currencies are using it. The amount of consumer subscribers grew to 63.2 million. It's quite a bit more. Like you see that like first Office was mainly like bought by companies. Like most of the revenue is still mostly companies, but we've been seeing a steady increase in consumers also getting access to Office for their own computers and stuff. So intelligent cloud is the biggest part of Microsoft's revenue. It was 21.5 billion and it increased 18%, 24% in constant currency. The intelligent cloud consists out of Azure, Windows Server, GitHub, and enterprise services. GitHub is like a place used for mostly like coding and stuff, like people put on their codes. Windows Server, it's like, yeah, that's honestly, I, I don't know what Windows Server is. Like, I tried looking for it. I, I just I don't know if it's like a relevant part of the revenue either. So I'm just kind of skipping over it, I guess. And with enterprise services, that's I mean, that's basically the cloud specific for enterprises. It's been growing like quite steadily, so that's nice. Then a less happy part of the revenue segment. This is kind of a dump. It's more personal computing. It's their Windows like operating system on the PC, which has been like doing okay. So something that really drove this segment to go down 19% is that the Windows OEM revenue decreased by 39%. Windows OEM is the original equipment manufacturer, which basically is the licensing fee of products sold with Windows. It's basically their like computer sales have slowed down due to inflation. You also have the competition with the MacBooks who don't use Windows. You got Linux computers that don't use Windows. So that really hasn't been going great for Windows, Microsoft. But I I think it will probably stabilize soon. I hope. I really don't have any additional info on what will happen with that. So as for the gaming part, like it's been down now due to like a lack of releases from Microsoft. But now you got Starfield, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and you got the Activision buy coming up. So if the Activision buy goes through regulation, then that should be a big jump in the gaming revenue part. But I think next quarter will also already be a big increase in the commercial products because the Starfield game has been really popular, and it's like $60 for that game, I think. So that should be a good boost to the earnings. And then you got the devices, like the revenue on devices is down big because there hasn't been like a like the last time an Xbox got released was 2013, 2014. So that one isn't getting sold that much anymore. Yeah, it's been mostly facing tough competition from PlayStation 5 because more people have been going for PlayStation 5 than an Xbox One simply because the PlayStation 5 is like a generation ahead of it. The search and news part is just like Microsoft Bing and stuff. It's been going up 10%. It's pretty big growth. Still a relatively small part though, but it's nice that it's going up. Probably can be attributed to the Bing AI stuff. So, like I said, I think the Activision Blizzard acquisition will boost the revenue in gaming a lot. I also think that this gives like a lot more people the reason to get the Microsoft Gaming Cloud thing, where you can like get a bunch of games on the cloud. Because like a lot of Call of Duty players, they may like also play other games. It's not like they only play Call of Duty, so it might actually be cheaper for them to get the Microsoft Gaming Pass rather than just buying all the games individually. Kind of depends on how much different games they play. So then you also get AI, which may like increase the earnings. I think the AI will mainly help the office, commercial and consumer both, because it will help like people that struggle with like Excel. Instead of like learning Excel, you can like get the AI to help you, you know. You also got like uh which one? Azure, like they manage a lot of data, so I assume AI will do a lot there, considering all the cloud data companies are talking about AI. But maybe it's just because it's the buzzword. Who knows? But at least for Office, I think it makes a big difference. Also for Dynamics products, AI could be a big difference because it like handles a lot of consumer information and like how happy the consumer is, you know. And so it since it's kind of like Salesforce, you know, Salesforce has like the big increase because of AI. I think you kind of have similar exposure to that with the Dynamics products and cloud services. And I think the search and news advertising would also like get better because of AI. Because AI and advertising is kind of like a good combination, I guess. So, talking about stock dilution, like Microsoft does have like pretty big stock-based compensation, but it's been like slowing down, and they've been doing buybacks. So right now they barely buy back more shares than they dilute, but at least the number of outstanding shares is going up, not down. So I think that's a really good thing because a lot of companies They like prop up their cash flows by just doing more stock-based compensation, but it's actually hurting you, the shareholder, because if you create more shares, your stake becomes less big. So as for cash and debt, Microsoft has 111 billion in cash and 42 billion in debt, which means you basically get a $69 billion discount on the company. But basically, because of the rising interest rates, debt has been getting more expensive. So they seem to be holding less debt right now. Like they're trying to reduce their debt in favor of just holding cash. But they might get some of that expensive debt if they acquire Activision Blizzard. So that's, I guess, something to look out for. If you think the acquisition is bad, then you may really dislike the debt that comes from it. So basically, the reason why I like Microsoft stock is that I think pretty much all of their revenue streams will grow except for what's it, the Microsoft OEM, because I think the OEM faces like really tough competition, and Windows hasn't necessarily like um, changed much. Like it's still my favorite operating system personally, but like a lot of the MacBook Bros are like going in, I guess. So, um, but like gaming, I think will go up. Office, I think will go up. The Dynamics 365 looks really interesting because it really grows up a lot, and it is kind of like Salesforce. And I also really like Salesforce, so that's a good thing. Um, yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Um, Comment if you think I got something completely wrong, and I'll keep you guys updated.